everyone, and welcome to another edition of UBTV News Magazine, coming to you from the University of the Bahamas campus. I'm Bethany McDermott.
And I'm your host, Andrea Davel. Our program has campus news, local news, health, business, and entertainment.
And this month, we have some holiday cooking and music to get you in the Christmas mood.
But first, in local news, the Bahamas Press Club held its annual awards gala. And Bethany, I heard you were there and you got a chance to meet some of the winners.
I was there. We even had some UB winners. Here's coverage of that event.
To the rising sun, Bahamas.
The 2017 Bahamas Press Club Awards gathered influential journalists and social media personalities to recognize and pay tribute to some outstanding members of the journalism craft. President of the Bahamas Press Club, Anthony Capron, expresses his surprise and satisfaction with tonight's turnout.
The night was exceptionally well. We expected to be a success, but we didn't expect it to go as well as it did.
President of the Bahamas Press Club and Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Anthony Newbold, shares where he wants the Press Club to be in the near future.
Young journalists in the Bahamas, all they need to do is get involved, participate. Lots of opportunities out there. We just have to reach out and take them.
We also had the pleasure of speaking with some of this year's Press Club Award winners and nominees, who shares how it felt to be nominated and how it feels to win.
Been nominated for anything ever before. So to get the nomination, it was an honor. And then to come here and actually win, I was in a category with people I met in this industry while I was still actually in UB.
It's truly an honor to be awarded for my hard work. I'm humbled that the Press Club would even the Press Awards would even open its doors to UB students and choose me of all people to win this award. So I'm truly humbled by this experience.
What a night it has been here at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel. We want to congratulate all of the winners, and we wish the Bahamas Press Club all the best in the near future. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Bethany McDermott. It's that gift-giving and holiday decorating time of year again, when joy is in the air.
And to kick off the season, there is Jollification, where local artists and designers come together to show off their goods and services. Our reporter, Lauren Seymour, was there.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at the Bahamas National Trust. The 26th annual Jollification was filled with glee and cheer as festival goers were treated to the amazing food and handmade Christmas ornaments. Former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Daniel Johnson told us what Jollification means to him.
For me, I'm a former Minister of Culture, and I think you should have this once a month. It should be every island. It should be all the time. You should never let people forget how far we've come, how glorious our past was, how important the Bahamas is.
We're here with Daniel Belton, the mastermind behind this booth. Daniel, can you please tell us what inspired you?
I've always been a fan of natural woodworking, carpentry, and that kind of stuff. I'm into the customization aspect of it, so things that I like to do one-offs, so a piece that's unique to you, personalization is very big for me.
Later on in the evening, Genesis treated guests to a Junkanoo rush hour. I'm Lauren Seymour, UBTV.
In campus news, the president of the University of the Bahamas held a soiree gala at the Harry Seymour Library.
Alumni, staff, and friends came in support, raising some $500,000 in scholarship funds. Here's that story. The President's Gala soiree gathered university stakeholders and supporters to showcase some university initiatives and why they should all support. University of the Bahamas Vice President Dr. Ian Strawn gives insight on where he sees the university going.
It's only going to become what we want it to become and hope it becomes when all of the stakeholders are involved. We can't just look to government. We also need citizens, corporate citizens and private citizens to play their part because building a university is an expensive venture.
The Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd expresses his views on the event.
So I'm very happy to be here. I'm glad for this occasion. I'm proud of the environment, Harry Seymour Library, and I think it's a very propitious use of the library space for an occasion such as this, because at the same time as having a wonderful evening, you're showing off this great and wonderful edifice.
Well, first of all, I feel that it's a very worthy cause. When I first heard about it several months ago, I determined that I would be here because I believe that education is a very integral part of the development of our country.
President Rodney Smith gave the significance of this event.
I think tonight's event is actually it's fantastic. We've made a lot of friends here tonight. Cultivating friendships is all about fundraising as well. So once you let people come to the university campus and they see what we have here, they get to experience what we have here, they understand what we're doing here, then it's easier for them to come back and say, how can they support us as well?
What a night it has been here at the Harry Seymour Library at the University of the Bahamas Oakville campus. People are still here enjoying the live music and all the festivities. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Berthany McDermott. In business news, the first Bahamas Island Hunt sent treasure seekers to explore the island for a cash prize.
Contestants worked in teams and alone to find items placed around the island. Kenton Hepburn went for the ride.
On your mark, get set, hunt. The Island Hunt brings a new challenging activity to Nassau. Teams of several persons searched the island to uncover riddles in hope of winning $1,000. Founder Xavier Knowles said he and his team took several months to plan the adventure. Choosing suitable locations, clues, and speaking with business owners were a few of the things that were done. He says the teams enjoyed the event.
All of the teams had fun. They went from east to west, even Paradise Island, and all of the teams enjoyed the experience, and that's what's most important.
Knowles says the Island Hunt doesn't end here. He plans to diversify the challenges and bring it to more islands.
Grand Bahama Island next. So we'll do a hunt there.
Producer Sean Gomez shares some of the problems the production team faced.
Of course, this is the first time. So now we can go back to the drawing table and know exactly what equipment that we need, how many people that we need, and I think that the second time around is going to be bigger and better.
Participants of the hunt share their experiences and can't wait for future ones.
Well, the first thing was really checking out the clues and trying to figure out, okay, you said something about a dump, you said something about a bin, a reversed, and then it's NIB, and it was like, wow, that was really clever. So shout out to the clue masters, the clue makers.
Out of 13 teams who participated, the Booty Warriors won the competition, along with the $1,000 cash prize. Congratulations. All teams enjoyed the hunt and anticipates the next adventure-packed event. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Kenton Hepburn.
In more business news, Bahamar opened its newest property, the SLS Hotel. We sent our reporter Italia Clark to the ribbon-cutting party.
Tonight, Bahamar takes its brand to another level with the opening of the SLS Hotel. Come and join the party with me.
SLS opened its doors to the public to celebrate in grand style as Bahamar takes its resort to another level.
We extend a heartfelt thank you to the Bahamian people who are the ambassadors to this outstanding destination and to the government of the Bahamas.
Though there were some difficulties leading up to the opening, the 299 rooms at SLS Bahamar Hotel brings a global luxury lifestyle, epic nightlife experiences, and will attract more tourists to the Bahamas.
University to come into the workforce, what types of opportunities would be available for them?
Well, for university, individuals, management, executive, culinary, there are vast opportunities here within the hotel industry. I'm happy with the type of training programs that they have and allowing Bahamians, once they continue their skills and continue to learn, to receive that opportunity of moving to the top. And that's all we ask.
We have mentor programs. We will welcome students who graduate from the university, even if their discipline is not necessarily hospitality.
So how good was the party and the hotel?
This is amazing. Like, it's gorgeous. Like, I don't even have the right word for it.
How are the rooms?
They are exquisite. They've done it right.
With the ringing of the bell, Bahamar expands its hotel with the SLS brand. At the Bahamar Boulevard at the SLS Hotel, I'm Italia Clark, reporting for UBTV.
During the holiday, I look for a new side dish to put on the table. To make it easier, our reporter Leandra Rowe found 2 new dishes to try.
It's the holiday season, and this means that it's not only the best, but also the most delicious time of the year. We're here with Chef Desmond, who's going to teach us how to prepare some festive holiday side dishes and treats. So, Chef, tell us, what are we going to prepare first today?
Well, happy holidays, everyone. Today we're going to be making a sweet potato and walnut tart with some red onions, and we also have a little cheddar cheese going in that. That's one of my favorite side dishes that I have every Christmas on the table. And in addition to that, later on, we'll also be making a dessert, which is a maple-crusted baked apple dish. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put the base down. As a matter of fact, I did want to point out that I've already rolled out my crust, which has got fresh rosemary, whole wheat flour, and pastry flour. And so that has been rolled out in advance. Now I have this shredded cheddar cheese, and we're going to spread that around and leave about a 2-inch border around the edge, because we're going to be folding that up into the center in just a minute. And now we have our roasted sweet potatoes. I took these, peeled them, sliced them, and tossed them with just a little salt, pepper, and oil. And now what we're going to do is just make a circular design around the perimeter like so. And as you can see, I'm shingling them so that they have a nice presentation. And then what I like to do is also add some of these red onions, which I've just put with a little bit of olive oil, and I roasted them as well. I did that at 375 degrees for about 10 minutes, because we don't want to overcook them, because they're going to go back in the oven in just a little bit.
So, how long have you been a chef?
Well, I started cooking when I was 5 years old in Mom's kitchen. And I actually took a junior chef class at the YMCA, and I learned how to make baked apples and English muffin pizzas. And I will never forget, that was the beginning. So to answer your question, at least 40 years.
Wow, that is awesome. So if you weren't a chef, what would you do?
Well, I did do a lot of acting, as you may already can tell from my incredible experience here in front of you.
What are you doing now?
Well, what I was just doing there was taking away a little of the excess dough, because when I fold it over, I don't want it to be too thick when we cut it later on. So I've removed that to make it into a circular shape, as you can see here. And then from there, now I'm going to fold it in, and we kind of pleat it a little, and it's really okay if the dough breaks a little as you do that. It is a pretty moist dough, a little bit more moist than a traditional pastry dough, because it is, again, savory, so there's no sugar in there. So now that we've folded that all in, the next thing I'm going to do is I have some whipped egg whites, and I'm going to put that around the outside, and that way it'll get a nice brown glaze to it, and it won't burn. And so I'm just a ham when it comes right down to it. And when you think about it, every teacher is kind of an actor, because that's what they do every day, is they have a captive audience that they end up being able to be the sage on the stage, if you will. Speaking of sage, I actually have a little bit of chopped thyme I'm sprinkling over the top right now, and then I'm finally going to give it just a little drizzle of olive oil, just to make sure that it doesn't get all dried out as it goes into the oven. All right. So what we're going to do now is throw this into a 375 degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until the crust gets a nice golden brown. We're going to open this up. Okay, we'll throw that one in. And as I happen to have been busy earlier today, I have one all set to come out of the oven right here, so that we can use that later on for tasting. I'm going to put that down and let it cool for a minute.
No holiday dinner is complete without desserts. So, Chef, what sort of treats do you have for us?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, one of the first dishes I ever made was baked apples, so this is inspired by that. We're doing a maple pecan crusted baked apple dish, and so I have some halved, peeled, and cored apples, which I put in a little bit of lemon water, so that way they don't turn brown while they're sitting there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take them, and we're just going to tap them up a little bit. And this is some melted butter, just simple melted butter, like that. And now I have the mixture of some grape nut cereal, pecans, and some cinnamon. And then I just roll it around in there like that, and then I put it into my pan like that. You want to give it a try? Sure. All right, go right ahead. Take a little of that extra water off. Oh, you'll be fine. Tilt the pan a little so you can get butter on all sides. Perfect. Good job. All right. Yep. Very good. All right. Okay.
So, Chef, what's your experience been like now that you're the new director at the University of the Bahamas?
Well, it's been fantastic. I've actually only started a couple of months ago, and I will tell you I have a terrific faculty and staff, and I just love it here in the Bahamas. And we are really excited about growing our program and developing some new courses, and so it's been just a wonderful experience. So then the next thing I want to do here is I have some apple juice that I'm going to pour into the bottom of my pan. So we're going to throw a little bit of this maple syrup in here, and that is one of my favorite combinations when it comes to apples and pecans. Now it's going in the oven, 375 degrees, 15 minutes.
Awesome.
All right.
From sweet potato tarts to baked maple apples, these dishes are sure to make your holiday dinner an unforgettable one. Thank you, Chef.
My pleasure.
My name is Leandra Roll, reporting for UBTV. Real good.
In arts and entertainment, during this time of the year, it's not just about getting gifts, but also about giving back to your community.
Students and faculty held a benefit concert for UB Music students. Our reporter Farah Johnson was on hand to hear this soulful music.
Nassau Music Society, in conjunction with the University of the Bahamas, held an evening of sacred and classical music. Held at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Kirk, the concert featured the whimsical melodies of Christine Gangelhoff on the flute, the resonating tunes of Christian Justilian on the baritone, and the rhythmic melodies of Paul Jones on the piano and organ.
We had this concert because we wanted to showcase our students and show the community what talent we have here.
The concert also featured UB students who showcased their talents to an attentive audience. Anthony Dean and Travis Rose strummed their guitars, while Tonique Brown performed smooth symphonies in a steel soprano.
We have so much talent in the Bahamas, but not so many students know how to read and have a breadth of musical knowledge, so we're trying to expand that, and we want to encourage them to stay here and study at the university.
Besides sharing their musical gifts, the event was held as a benefit concert for UB Music student scholarships.
We are calling to the general public and to the corporate Bahamas to help us in building the university performing arts and visual arts department.
A night of sweet, melodious music for an even sweeter cause. I'm Farah Johnson, UBTV.
In other entertainment news, the annual Unplugged benefit concert was held at the Beach Volleyball Stadium.
Dozens of music artists came out to help raise money for a good cause. Our reporter Anisha Jones was there to take in the tunes.
7 years ago, a plane crash which was described as one of the worst air disasters in the Bahamas took the lives of 8 persons. Clarence Nat Williams was one of the 8. He was the son of Bishop Clarence Williams of the Turks and Caicos Islands and a prominent sound engineer whose dream was to help young musicians develop their talents. Now, years later, a few of his close friends and former business partners have teamed up to continue Nat's dream. They've created the Nat Williams Foundation and are now hosting a series of Unplugged events every year. This year, Unplugged 2 brought together 15 Bahamian artists at the National Beach Soccer Stadium to perform in honor of Nat Williams.
Nat was a good friend to all the people you see out here today. People who just want to, he was a guy who supported the movement, supported people.
I didn't know Nat personally, but Nat was really connected to my mom because she did a lot of events with our church and with the blind society.
I believe that if I was given the opportunity to meet him, he would have made a tremendous and left an indelible mark in my life because he's done so for many, many artists here tonight.
The Nat Williams Foundation decided to grant one young Bahamian every year a scholarship to study audio or film production.
So we were like, you know what, we're going to create a scholarship so somebody, another kid like Nat was a kid who went off to school to study music and film production, could go off to school and bring his talents back to the Bahamas.
The concert carried on all night with performances by Carissa,
Go to heaven with my arms around
around you.
Judah the Lion.
Baby, I wanna be your soul provider.
Kia.
Wow, yeah. Wow, wow, wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild guy.
And many others. And the crowd, of course, loved every minute of each performance.
Reporting from the BFA Beach Soccer Stadium, I'm Manisha Jones, UBTV.
The best part of December is hearing all the Christmas carols and the memories they bring of peace and love.
And we have a treat for you, as our world-famous Audrey Dean Wright from the University of the Bahamas invited us into her home. Here's an evening of classical music from our local choir members.
Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. We're here at Miss Audrey Dean Wright's house as she prepares to tell us about the Christmas classics. So, Miss Wright Dean, tell us about yourself.
Audrey Dean Wright, well, I am a Baintown girl, born and bred in Nassau, Bahamas. Grew up in the rich cultural area of Baintown. Studied music with the most outstanding musician in the Bahamas, E. Clement Bethel. Went abroad and studied, did my final studies at Manhattan School of Music. Came back, taught at the College of Bahamas for 40 years. I like to write music, I love to sing, I like to write poetry, stories. That's me, and I love people.
How long have you been doing this event at your home?
We've been doing it for 28 years.
All right. So what is the inspiration behind doing this event?
Well, giving thanks, first of all, for a year full of joy and, gladness. And then secondly, my friends, we don't see each other enough. So I want to be with them at this time of year and share the joy, our love through music for each other and for God.
What Christmas classic will you be singing for us tonight?
Tonight we are singing "And the Glory of the Lord" from Handel's Messiah.
What a great show. It's Christmas time and classes are over. I'm ready to party.
We want to thank you for watching UBTV News Magazine. And if you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email us at ubtvradio@ub.edu.bs. I'm Andrea Davel.
And I'm Berthany McDermott from the campus of the University of the Bahamas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.